between between tracks, between tracks, between tracks.
Feeling this morning?
Yeah, okay, thanks. Just I'm in the Netherlands at the moment,
Mhm.
so just getting used to being back here and seeing family and stuff.
You're
So
originally from there, right?
yeah, but I've lived in the UK longer than I did here. But my
Okay,
family is still here, so I travel here a lot to see them. But yeah,
nice.
end of
How
year
long have
vibes.
you, yeah, how long have you been living in, because you live in London, right?
Yeah, so London for 11 years, and
Mm-hmm.
then before that 8 years in Surrey, where I grew up and went
Okay,
to school, and then before that, in the Netherlands as a
okay.
kid.
So, yeah, you've been gone a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like do the maths, yeah. Nice. But that's
Yeah.
nice. How are you feeling now that because you're obviously back with family and friends. Have you had time to like debrief
Not
after the
yet.
intense yet? Not yet.
Not yet. I've just been having to do some work from home, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of prep for next year. So I'm trying to round that all off this week still, and then
Yeah.
hopefully next week it'll be a little bit lighter. But
Yeah.
yeah, trying to fit everyone in and everything in, it's always difficult. But I'm here for a few weeks, so it should be fine. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still trying to catch up on my sleep.
I mean, you had a busy 2 years, I would say, because I've been following you for a while with the shows and the touring. And you had your first headline show this year as well in the UK,
We
right?
had we had our first headline tour. So we've been I've had a lot of headline shows over the years,
Hmm.
which is very cool. And then this year was yeah, like proper UK and New York shows.
Yes. And didn't you
Yeah.
play
But
in Barcelona as well? No, didn't
yeah,
you?
yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. Yeah, that too, which is really nice as well.
That's
Yeah,
excellent.
we did headline that little festival as well, which is lovely.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's been busy, busy, not just 2 years, a lot of years,
A lot of
but
years.
definitely the last 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
excellent. So for those people that are watching, this is SJ,
Yeah.
obviously, and you are the front of Dutch Mustard. So Dutch Mustard is obviously like your project. You play with how
Yeah.
many other people? Is it four of you in total, your band
So
setup?
for live, it tends to be four of us live.
Mm-hmm.
I have done it in the past where I've had six of us on stage. It just kind of depends
Wow.
on the shows and the
The
budget.
venue,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And
usually
I
it's
imagine
four of us.
space as well, right? Like
Yeah,
the
I mean,
actual.
they're not like, yeah, they're not the biggest stages yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, been four of us the last couple of years.
And how does that work when like, what is the format for that when you are in studio, like creatively? Do you sort of go ahead first and start by yourself recording and then everyone else joins? Or what is like the process of working with the other guys?
It kind of depends on it depends on the song. It depends on like
Hmm.
what I'm working on. For example, I've got a track called Beauty of the second EP.
My
Um, is
favorite.
it? Thank
Yeah.
you. So that one, so I tend to like write demos and record them on my laptop at home. And sometimes it'll start with a beat or a bass line or whatever. And with that one, for example, I program the drums. I always program the drums before I get the drummer onto it to get like
Yeah.
acoustic drums, just because it gives me a fuller image of what I want the track to be like. So, and then I can hand it to them and go, "Oh, can you play this, please?" And then
Okay.
they always like make it better and like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And add
give
their
their
like little spice to
their
it.
their amazing spice to it.
Yeah.
Because obviously you can imagine if you're just programming, I'm not like the best programmer, I would say, at drums, so it can be a bit like robotic.
Hmm.
But with Beauty, it somehow just like felt really good. And the mix engineer who I worked with, Duncan, he said to me like, "Do you even need live drums on it, really?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. What do you think?" And he was like, "Well, we
Yeah.
can just like samples over it and get it sounding
Yeah.
really like really big, and then yeah, like he sort of adjusted the programming I'd done, and then we had this like lovely sounding kit,
Mhm.
like electronic, but still it sounds like a little
Great.
bit more
Yeah.
live. So for that, like, it's literally just me on the track, like bass, guitars, drums, all of
Really?
it.
So you didn't actually, so you ended up using that. You didn't actually go over with the live drums for the whole
No,
EP or just for the
no,
track?
just for that track.
Okay.
Yeah, just for that song. But the other songs, it would be the case of me like writing the drums and then handing it over and going, "Can you play it like this, please, or
Yeah, yeah.
better?" Like way better than
Cool.
this program drums. But yeah,
Yeah.
so it's always different, and I tend to keep a lot of stuff that I do on the demos as well because I get demo fever,
Hmm.
and then I can't live without this sound. But then I do also track over the top, especially with guitars. Like I like to stack my guitars. So I'll go in after
Yes.
we've done drum tracking and then I'll on top of that do some more guitars and stuff and then do like a proper vocal recording rather than just like demo vocal. But
I was gonna say you love a gritty guitar.
I do love a
I do
good guitar,
too. It's like
yeah.
partially because it's funny, like speaking about beauty now, that is actually, I actually have a vivid memory of when I first like saw you online or started listening to you because we were working with Ian Workhouse,
Mm,
which you've obviously worked with
yeah,
a few times,
I love
and
Ian.
your track Beauty came out, but it was the music video that I was so like intrigued by because I think
Mm.
some people, if like they're not really familiar with your music, besides being an incredible musician, you're such a talented dancer as well. Like there
Thank you.
seems to be this running theme between, I wouldn't say like all, but at least the music videos I've seen of yours, where they all have really beautiful choreography in them. And
Thank you.
I just remember watching thinking, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful.
I'm so
And then
glad.
obviously like through that, listened to the EP once it came out. But
Brilliant.
would you say, are you like a classically trained dancer, first off, or
No,
is this
not at all.
just, no?
So the first thing I was going to say, we can thank the lovely dancers that I worked with, who choreographed those videos. So yeah, we had choreo on Beauty with Matt Petty. He's an incredible dancer, and we met on a film job. I work in
Hmm.
film as well, and he just said, if you ever need anybody, please give me a shout. So I'm independent, so I don't tend to have a lot of budget. So the
Yeah.
fact that these people work with me for like super low budgets or no budget, like it's incredible. And Matt, yeah, he we trained for like 2 months, like twice a week. Because we had to work as well in the meantime to get
Yeah. Juggle everything.
yeah, to get the whole choreo done from because the whole song is like start to finish. And I at that
Yes.
point had not, other than doing like I think I'd have done maybe 4 ballet classes, and I did
What?
like maybe a couple contemporary classes,
Mhm.
just to like try and get used to it. And I just like threw everything into Matt, going like, "Can you like just test me out, like see if I'm good
Yeah.
enough or something good enough?" And I remember we did our first like session together. We booked the rehearsal room in Fulham, and he
Mhm.
was just testing out like my athletic levels. And I do go to the gym a lot. I do like to exercise, so thank God for
Yeah.
that because that would have helped.
Oh my gosh.
Um, but I was absolutely exhausted.
Imagine. Yeah.
I was exhausted after that. Even that, just that session, it was like because you're using muscles that you're not used to using, right? So
Right.
I said to him, like, I've always wanted to dance, always wanted to do something with
Hmm.
movement. So he, yeah, kind of was testing like what I could do. And he was like, no, we can do something really cool. Like, we'll just see how you go. And he was sort of choreographing it like week by week to see like how far he could push me. And he had a
Yeah.
lovely dance partner, who she would help him like when I wasn't there, so that he would have
Okay.
someone to like bounce off because it
Like
was
full
like
in. Yeah.
it was like a duet or whatever. It was two people doing it. So yeah, we trained a lot. And on the day of the shoot, it was literally like start to finish, us just running the routine like the whole day. And we were absolutely destroyed, but it was amazing. So yeah, he sort of got me the confidence to open that door. And since
Yeah.
then, I I'd go into a few more contemporary dance classes, and then I had the other video. I think it was Thank You after that, and yeah, I collected a whole bunch of friends who were
Yeah.
dancers, and
That came out last year, right? Like the end of
yeah,
last year. Yeah, yeah,
October,
yeah.
2024. And yeah, we just collected friends and people that we knew were in like the arts and stuff. And then friends that I
Hmm.
was working with at the time at the bar who wanted to like be actors or whatever. So we just got like a whole
Yeah.
bunch of people together. And yeah, I'm very grateful to have worked with Joss Newbolt, who's filmmaker and director. So he was a big part of like creating like the cinematic feel and
Mm.
all the sort of production side of
Yeah.
things. We had a group of like 20 people on the thank you video. And again, I'm not joking, like I mean, I had to put my own savings into it, of course, which I've always done. But when you look at the product and you compare that to like all these like huge productions with lots of people
Hmm.
and lots of money,
High budget. Yeah.
I can't believe what I've walked away with.
Well,
And it's all
yeah,
because people are like working for favors or because they want their own
100%.
show reels or they just want to get involved and
Yeah,
make art because they want to have more control of what they're making art wise. Because a lot of the
100%.
time when you're working like with big budgets and big labels and things like that, it's like all sort of set out. Whereas like the
Yes.
Rory did the choreography, Rory Bell for the thank you video, and
Hmm.
I think it was like he done stuff like that before, but I don't know if it was to the extent of this one where he choreographed like 8 people, um,
Yeah.
like the whole thing. And he was also then doing movement direction with like the actors and stuff, and then
Hmm.
working directly with the director. It was a lot of work for all of us, but especially I think for the director and crew, to try and make this whole thing into this like set and changes and
Yeah.
things with limited budget for lighting and like props.
Yeah.
And it was just all what they could like use. They had to sort of use their
Like get
imagination.
together. But that's so
Yeah,
beautiful when, like you're saying, like it's just so like community driven and everyone just wants to show
yeah,
up and help. Um, I was talking about this to someone the other day. We were talking about the collaboration scene in the US versus the UK, and neither
yeah,
of us have really worked in the UK. We were talking more about like LA and that, and I was there in 2022 and I
yeah.
thought it was quite easy. I was quite surprised by not just the musicians, but like photography scene, how many
Mm.
people I met in the few months I was there that just wanted to sort of come to gigs and, you know, take videos of different artists and do like behind the scenes stuff. It just felt very open and like people were really, I don't want to say not about the money because that's a whole different
A
like
whole
issue
different,
that
yeah.
we get
People
underpaid and
should be
everything. But
paid. Yeah, like,
yeah,
yeah,
but just the enthusiasm, I think,
yeah,
and the
exactly.
will to want to like create something without having a incentive other than I want to make art. There's
Yeah,
something very beautiful about that,
100%. Like that's, I think as a musician, and I'm sure like as dancers or painters or whichever form of art
Mm.
you make, I think you probably have to go through that process of understanding why you're an artist, why are you making the
Yeah,
art? Like,
the
why do you want to
reasoning.
do it? Because
Yeah,
I think if we're in it for money, obviously we all need to get paid, right? It's really difficult. Like, by no means am I, doing well in a sense,
yeah,
like I still can't afford to make music, So
yeah.
like, and I understand that, and I sort of have to have a peace with that because I know I'm going to make it happen somehow. But
Hmm.
also, it's like if you're just doing it for money, then you're going to make something that's probably not authentic to
No,
yourself, or like
no.
that people might connect with it, but into to what extent, to what depth are they going to remember it next year? Is it just like
Yeah,
something, a little catchy track? And I think it's fine if you're if you're a singer, if you're a performer, and you go, I want to do this like covers thing, and that makes me really happy, and that earns me money, and I can make my living that way.
yeah,
Great. Like I think it's absolutely fine and really cool and so fun, I'm sure. But I think for me, for example, and the other side of the music industry, it looks very different and like it doesn't feel right doing stuff like that
Hmm.
because I'm not being like I feel like
It's
something's like
it's because
I
it's
don't know,
not coming
choking
from
me.
inside.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
like,
exactly.
yeah. And I think
100%.
we talk about this a lot. Like, I think if you take away the money and even like the thing of not fame, but popularity or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
it's that thing of at the end of the day, you create because it's almost like you have to. You
Yeah, it's
you
like would
need
you still
to.
be doing it? Yeah.
It's like if you can't live without it almost. It's
Yeah.
you know.
I think lockdown was a really good example of that for a lot
Hmm.
of people because I mean we were all trapped right inside and it's like what can you do with what are you going to do? I think a lot of people were drinking and partying and so
Yeah.
happy to be out of their day to day, understandable. Um, like I fell into exercise and making music and
Uh-huh.
that was literally it. Like
Yeah.
I made so much music and there was no like pressure on like this needs to go somewhere or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like a natural, not rushed process.
Yeah.
Sort of,
Yeah.
and that's how that first EP sort of happened because I just had all the time in the world to just write. And I think I wrote like 20 or 25 demos in the first lockdown that I'd completely done drums, bass, everything, like the like fully formed
Hmm.
tracks. And then I met someone and they were like, oh, like I'll help you like put it together, da, da, da. Like I still had to pay a bit of money and luckily I had work in lockdown
Yeah.
part-time. Um, but yeah, it just didn't feel like this pressure, this crazy pressure.
I
Like
was
we
gonna
just
say there's
wanted to
something
make
very,
music.
yeah, there was like obviously a big sense of freedom and no self-pressure
Yeah,
of like, I have this
yeah,
timeline, I need to push it out, I need to really start thinking about like, you know, the posts and the content and everything else that
yeah,
follows that I
yeah.
think a lot of people don't even talk about. It's like a whole separate job. Just how are you going to
Honest to God,
market this thing? You know, what is the
crazy.
aesthetic going to be? Um,
Yeah,
it's
so
like a
much work.
whole nother full-time, uh,
100%.
yeah, that
100%.
I think people
Like
don't
I'm,
really.
I'm lucky I've got a friend of mine who's been helping me when I had shows and on tour. She came with me on tour and she did a lot of behind the scenes. She took all the content videos, all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
If I didn't have that, like there's no way I would be I mean, in my case, it's a bit extreme because I did the tour management, I did the booking,
Everything.
I
Yeah.
did the driving with my guitarist, we both drove our cars,
Hmm.
you know, so and then on top of that, to have had to do social media would have been crazy. And I mean, I
Too
still had to
much.
then, like, I mean, my friend, she was filming, but like I had to still post about the gigs and do all this stuff
Of
whilst doing all.
course.
Honestly,
Like
it's
every
like your
day.
brain doesn't
Yeah.
turn on, and it's
It's
not
such an
healthy for
overload.
anyone.
It's
It's just
such an
not.
overload.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like sometimes we were talking about this actually the other day. I was talking to a friend about this. How I don't want to say lucky because times are always changing, and I think musicians have always sort of had it hard. We think
yeah,
it's like difficult
100%.
now with the social media, but I think 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, there were also sort of challenges. They just sort of change over time. But
Yeah,
something I
that's
think
completely
was easier was
money. There
that
was money being thrown at
money
artists.
and not the sort of pressure of I have to now be like a content creator
Mm.
almost to
Yeah,
try
I
and
mean,
get
I think.
my stuff out.
Yeah, in a different way, like you say, they would have had to do all these press shoots and all these things,
Hmm.
and touring would have been insane, obviously, back then as well. But I definitely think there was more money being thrown at records. Streaming has completely, I don't want to swear, but messed
Yeah.
us up like
Yeah.
massively. And yeah, basically there's no money in that for artists. It's so hard. And then to get on the road, it's so hard. But I think back in the day, people were buying records and there was
Yeah.
money put into making records. But then you still had the thing where the deals were so brutal that the artists would still not make money back then
Yeah,
either. And you hear about,
exactly.
George Michael being screwed over by his manager or like all these things,
Yeah.
like all the artists being messed around by labels and managements back then
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh, I don't have any money, but they didn't have any money for the first 10, 20 years of their career either
Of
because it was
course.
already taken,
Of
you know.
course. So it was
So
like
it's
one aspect was better, but I think it's just like we were saying,
yeah, it's
always
crazy.
been screwed over somehow to
The
put it,
artist is always like last. I don't understand. Yeah, it's
right?
crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
it's quite insane if you think about, especially like an unsigned artist. Well, I mean, I
Hmm.
guess it goes for everyone, but specifically if you like look at yourself and some of the other
Yeah,
unsigned people I've worked with, it's like the artist is carrying the weight of everyone else. Like,
uh,
you're paying the musicians, you're paying the studios, you're paying the producers, the engineers, the mixers, the masters, the PR, if you have enough budget to sort of go that route.
yeah,
Touring, agents, it's like you're the one almost employing everyone, but
yeah.
you're the one like struggling the most. It's just,
And
I don't
I
know,
mean,
something needs to
we
change.
played yeah, but it's like it's the whole ecosystem of the music industry.
Hmm.
Like it's not just I was on a meeting recently with a new funding application for touring artists in the UK. I'm very
Okay.
grateful that they asked me to be on that panel to have discussions about what we need as musicians and where the money would come in. Because like
Yeah.
it and it really showed me as well because there was promoters on there who, run venues, bigger venues as well.
Hmm.
And it's like I had to cut out the promoters and book it all myself because otherwise I couldn't pay the
You're
band.
losing, yeah,
Yes, but then I'm tripling or whatever the work that I've got to do already on top
of
of everything
course.
else. However, then that meant that all the ticket money went to me, which then went to the band. So
Hmm.
that's the only way I could have done this tour this year. But then
Yeah.
speaking to them, they were like, yeah, but it's the same for us because we earn a certain amount through the ticket split percentage, but then that gets taken by the government or whatever, like
Yeah.
yes, or and obviously PRS is collecting for artists, so that's rightly so.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're saying all these cuts get taken off from our percentage, and then we end up
Hmm.
with nothing either. So
Yeah.
I think it's the whole ecosystem in the UK, especially where I know more about it. I don't know much
Yeah.
about the US, but I know that Europe musicians earn way more. Like bands get
100%.
paid to play,
Yeah.
like, and
There's
it's
way
it's
more
so much
funding,
more.
way more
Yeah,
funding and incentives.
yeah, in the
Um,
arts anyway. And I mean, I know that Ireland are paying musicians, I think it's like £300 per week, if they
yeah.
don't work through, like from gigging
Yeah,
or whatever.
because it's like it's already a full-time job and just still
Yeah.
it's just crazy. Like being a musician is a full-time job and you're sort of expected to have two full-time jobs, majority of people.
Well, I've had
Like,
four like for a very
yeah,
long time.
yeah,
Five
to just sort
now,
of
I've
keep
got
your head
three. Yeah,
afloat, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Imagine the type of stuff a person could do if you didn't have to like stress and put your energy, like divide your energy into two different things or four different things, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Um,
But again, like I don't regret any of it because I wouldn't have the music that's out there, met the people that come to the
of
shows.
course.
Like there's nothing more amazing than being in a room of people who all want to be there to connect,
Yes.
like because of a feeling they get from sound. I mean, that's
Yeah.
nuts, and to
Yeah.
be the person to bring those people together, like I'll do it over and over again, literally.
Hmm.
Like it's
Hmm.
insane.
Did you have like a sort of aha moment in your career when you were performing where you were like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. Like this is the thing I'm
Many,
supposed to be doing. Many.
many, many, many
Do you remember
moments.
like the first time you felt like that? Was it just like a collection of,
It's definitely a collection of because as the years go on and we grow, we grow as people as well as artists and in our job roles, whatever we're doing with our lives,
hmm,
right? So your perspective changes a lot, like in time. Like the way I look at the music industry now compared to when I was 18 or 15 when I was gigging is completely different.
totally different? Yeah.
I've been playing live to crowds since I was 11 years old. Like at school,
Hmm.
I'd play to the whole assembly hall like every week. on my own with my songs. And then I was doing solo stuff from like 15. I had an EP then and everything. So I've been doing it for a long, long time playing live. I think there was a moment, I think it's when I love playing, like I used to gig on my own a lot, and like obviously I enjoyed it loads. Like you still connect with people, but there's this sort of, it's very intimidating. Like everyone can hear every mistake, or like it's very
Yeah,
like
because everyone's
nerve-wracking.
just focused on you.
Yeah.
There's no like
And
distractions.
yeah, exactly. And I think when I was about 16, I did a show in Guildford with two bandmates who
Mhm.
were on double bass and on guitar. And that was sort of the first time, other than at school, that I'd like played my own songs
Mhm.
with like more of a production behind it. And I think, yeah, that was very special. And moving on from that, then working on all the Dutch mustard music, writing for all this time, creating this sort of world and this sound. Like the first shows I ever did as Dutch mustard with the guys back then, different lineup. We did 3.5 years, I think, of gigging around the UK. We did do a tour then as well, but it wasn't like headline, and it was very like
Yeah.
we were teenagers, you know. It's a very different vibe. But like I speak to my guitarist from back then often, and we just say like that was the most incredible time in our lives because
Yeah.
we were just, the sound wasn't, what we were doing was just playing hard rock, like with the songs I was writing. We were just trying to copy our favorite bands, right?
Yeah.
So I think that way you learn a lot about where you need to be. And then it wasn't until lockdown and like a vocal injury and all this stuff that I realized, yes, like I loved what we did then, but there was a lot of like problems in the band and like the way things were being
Hmm.
done, and like just like musically it wasn't where I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But I had the most fun with these guys, like as well.
Yeah.
Like, and then moving on from that, then I've had a few different players like over the years who I adore, and I'm still in touch with all of them. Um, and it's sort of every time you have a new sort of lineup, which isn't often, but I think I've been had three different sort of chunks of like the years of different people, and every
Yeah.
time you do rehearsals and then you do the big show, like for me, most of the time it would be like the one headline of the year, you know, in London, that would be the big
Yeah.
one. And you just, there's just an energy and like a buzz. And I think every time I'm on that stage, is this feeling of like, I don't know, just like a spark or a chemistry with one of the
Hmm.
players, and we look at each other, or they do some sort of crazy drum fill or a guitar
Mm.
lick or something, and you're just like, and I'm thinking, wait, that's to the songs that I wrote. And look at their faces, they're all smiling.
Yeah.
The crowd is going
It's
nuts, and you're just
special.
like, this is exactly what I need to be
Why?
doing.
Yeah.
Kind of keep all the other noise of all the other jobs or all the other things
Yeah.
like that are happening in my life, like whether it's like personal life, work,
Mm.
it all, the stress. It's like as soon as I walk onto, like I can literally be so worried about so many things, like musically, and obviously ticket sales, or I don't have a record ready for
Yeah.
this, that's not done, or like I need to get back to that person, or all these things. And then you've got your personal life, you've got your jobs. But when
Yeah.
I get on stage,
It all just
it like
goes
goes,
away.
and it's
Yeah.
just like I feel like I'm me.
Yeah.
Like that's the moment where or when I'm recording, I have the same feeling. But yeah, when I get onto that stage, I'm like, oh, okay, everything is fine. And
Hmm.
like I think it's hard to pick one specific moment, but yeah, I would say the first few years gigging with the boys, even though we were we were nuts and partied a lot, there were some very special moments then. And then after that, I think, yeah, every year, every time we've had a headline, there's
There's
just been,
something.
there's
There's something
something,
new.
there's a look, there's a feeling, there's an audience member,
Yeah.
that you look at and you're just like, it's like, I
Do
love you.
you do you like remember? Because I mean, you've played in like London, for example,
Yeah,
like
for a long
year after
time.
year. Are there
Yeah.
specific people from the audience that you recognize that you remember?
Yeah, there's always some people that I recognize. I've had people come to shows from when I was 18 that still come to the shows now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just like this respect of like, hey, good to see you. Like,
Yeah.
it's really lovely. There's been a lot of new people as well over the years, of course, with different songs coming out and stuff, attracting different audiences. And it has been really nice to see a lot of girls coming through because
Yes, I'm
I feel like
sure.
obviously music, like rock music, is very male, used to be a very male dominated genre.
Yeah.
Um, and I think now over the years, like it's the girls are getting more exposure to it. I kind of think it's like what you grow up with, or are you exposed to, rock music or whatever, guitar music? And I think just a lot of girls maybe are not because you're stereotypically, I don't know, put in a certain box.
Yeah.
So nice to see that, yeah, a lot of girls coming through, a lot of women coming through, like all different ages as well. Like it's just so
Mm-hmm.
nice. Because I just think like lyrically as well, like it's for everybody, right? It's whatever you make the lyrics
Yes.
to be
Yeah,
yourself.
whatever you interpret
But
it.
yeah, but if I go to the root of what some of the songs are about, it's like, come on, girls. Like it's a
Yes.
lot it's a lot about empowerment and for the girlies as well.
But but that's so true because obviously, like you're saying, everyone can interpret it for themselves, however
Yeah.
they wish. But there's something that's what I noticed on your beauty EP. You and like a bunch of other female-led rock alternative acts is another one I'm thinking of now is the debut record of Wet Leg. I remember like the
Okay, yeah.
first time I heard that. I remember saying to my partner, "Oh, this is like the first time in a long time that I've listened to an album from start to finish, and I can relate to so many things these
Yeah.
women are like singing about, and not all of it is like pretty. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
Like
no,
I
definitely not.
felt, and
Yeah.
I feel like with your tracks, it's a similar thing. It's like
Yeah.
there's this real like truth that kind of
Mhm.
sort of hits you in the gut a little bit, but it's a
Yeah.
positive thing. It's, I feel like, okay, I don't feel so alone. There's other women that
Yeah.
think the same way I do, and it's like nothing to be ashamed of, or
Yeah,
it's
no,
very
exactly.
liberating listening to
Thank you.
especially music from females, other women
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I would say Loser is like a good example of
hmm
just being a
hmm
girl and just being like, I'm just a loser with a broken heart. Oh my God. Like having to be like, yeah, that's the lyric. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
so, like you're so vulnerable because if you're writing about your own truth, then yeah, you're just like, well, here it is,
Here it is.
And like you say, like, but it does mean that people can connect to it because I think you can feel when you listen to a piece of music whether something is coming from an authentic place or not.
hmm
I think you can
hmm
just feel it. But then with, for example, Feel Everything, that's not necessarily about like a love story, that's more about all of us, as humans.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to say like, oh, the music is just for girls. It's not, but it's like there's
No, of
definitely
course.
songs in there where I'm like, this is for us, come on,
Yeah.
and then to see girls coming to the shows and stuff and really enjoying it, I'm like, oh, amazing.
Yes.
Like so nice to,
Of
yeah, have a bit
course.
more diverse crowd.
Of course.
Yeah.
So obviously for you, I mean, you love being on stage. Um, that is like, would you say that's obviously the highlight of your touring? That's like the thing that gives you the most joy. To take a slightly different approach now, what would you say is the least joyful thing about touring for you personally? Like, what is
Social
the
media.
most?
I know you can have fun with it maybe, but I think when you're a touring artist and you have a bigger budget and a bigger team and you're being driven
Mhm.
and
And you
you're
can
able to
like
see
nap in between.
nap in the van and stuff like that is different. And then I'm sure, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, let's do like a funny dance to like our new record or like I'm
Yeah.
sure that then social media is fine because like you have time to have a laugh with it and do it.
Of
But I think as
course.
an independent, when you're doing a million things, it's just
No,
that's what I
you just
don't
don't
enjoy
have that
capacity.
capacity. I think a lot of people don't know that though. Like specifically about touring is the audience, how physically and mentally exhausting it can be. So when you finish a show, you often only get back to your accommodation or to your van at like 11 p.m., midnight.
Not
And
even,
then
yeah,
there's the
midnight.
thing of like waking up at 5, 6 to hit the road and being stressing about getting to the destination on time. Everything is just like go, go, go the whole time.
Yeah, and
I,
your body
I,
craving food.
yeah, and it's like I have to get there for the rehearsal. Okay, the rehearsal's done. It's just this constant sort of high energy, high energy. I know for me personally, doing tour management, something I struggle with apart from all the other logistics of things is actually being around people a lot, all the
Yeah.
time. And
intense.
I mean, I love the people that I work with. It's like nothing personal, but I think for me, something I struggle with is just like constantly being around people all the time. You have to be like approachable or like happy all the time
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
especially if,
up in
yeah.
spirits, you can't walk into a place and give off this sort of sleepy, like irritable
Yeah, because everyone
energy.
is going through it, right? Like everyone on the
Yeah,
tour is exhausted, so
yeah.
you have to
And I
like,
feel like
yeah,
I'm like the glue. Like I don't know. I think I put that pressure on myself, maybe. I think I've been like this my entire life since a kid. But I try
yeah,
to sort of like keep everyone happy and like up, 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 uppity up, that
yeah,
it just depletes me at the end
yeah.
of it.
But that is a good sign of managerial skills.
I guess
I
so.
no, no, it is like, and I mean, obviously, if we're doing it outside of the job, yeah, I have that problem too. Like, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure everyone's happy, like
Everyone's all
everyone.
right. Like, never
It's
mind.
exhausting. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
crumbling
yeah.
inside. Like, everyone else is fine. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, it is exhausting. And I think like when you say about sleeping and like being up at then 6 or whatever, you get back to the room and I haven't tour managed without gigging myself. But I know that when I get to the room, I still need to have a shower because obviously I've just sweated like
Hmm.
everywhere on stage.
Hmm.
Then when you finally get in your bed, it's like 1 a.m. And
Yeah.
then you're just there like
Yeah.
wired
Your brain
because
is,
your
yeah.
adrenaline is still going.
Yeah.
So then you can't sleep. And I know one of my friends who I was touring with recently, with another band that I'm a session musician for, she's just like watching a series on her iPad or whatever because she's like, I need my brain to switch
Slowly,
off.
like, decompress. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't sleep if I'm like still like wired from the show.
Of
And I'm like, yeah,
course.
that's so true. So there's that as
No,
well.
it's,
And yeah, then
yeah.
having your own time, even then, you don't have your own room. Like you're
Yeah.
sharing with someone.
You're
And
constantly
I
with
love
people.
headspace, but it's like
Yeah.
you don't have your own space to like get in the zone. And then we did get into a routine of like, I would do like my yoga in the morning and she would go outside for a walk or vice
Hmm.
versa. So that we just had like half an hour of like
Of
alone
peace.
time. Yeah,
Time to
crazy.
collect your thoughts. I was
Yeah.
actually going to ask you, like, what is something that you try to like implement to help with that sort of thing? Because obviously, like you were saying, you try to do exercise or go for a walk. Sometimes it's like difficult to even find the time or the space to do a workout. Like, so
It's
I guess going for a walk is the alternative to that, I would say.
Hmm.
Just,
I think it's hard because a lot of people drink a lot.
yes.
Like I I don't drink anymore. I
Hmm.
had like a vocal injury when I was 23. So also like in lockdown. And I had like a year of speech therapy and
Okay.
singing lessons and life coaching to just get
Yeah.
my voice back.
Yeah.
So obviously I've had an extreme to help me understand how important it is, how health is so important to excelling at being a great performer.
Of course.
Um, I'm not saying everyone has to be teetotal or like not drink or, it's not
Yeah.
like that. But I think it's balance, isn't it? So it's trying to
Mm.
maintain something that's maybe normal in your day to day that you would do to keep you a little bit grounded, maybe.
Yeah,
Whether it's like reading your book before you go to bed, or yeah, in the morning, just grabbing that 10-minute walk, even if it's 10 minutes on your own, 15 minutes,
yeah,
just to like do something that's not to do with the music or the
yes,
touring.
the touring.
Like, and for me personally, like I do love exercise and I do yoga, and you don't have to be a spiritual person to do yoga.
Yeah,
Like, it's just, I find it amazing. Like, it's just, even if you did stretching in the morning,
stretching. I was
get
gonna
up,
say,
do
yeah,
10 minutes of stretching, just knowing, because, your body is so tense. You're carrying loads of stuff all the time. You're playing your instrument every night. Like,
yeah,
it's so heavy on your body. So if you can find like a way of having a tiny routine in something that, like, I don't know, if you're doing like a 2-week tour, and 4 or 5 days out of that tour per week you've done a walk or a stretching session,
it all
like,
adds up.
yeah, it all adds up. And then at least when
Yeah,
you come off, hopefully, I mean, you do just feel destroyed, but I don't know, you don't feel like you have to reset yourself entirely, like as a new
completely. Yeah,
person.
yeah,
You just like, oh, this is my lifestyle. I think if you can accept that it's your lifestyle, and then just like normal life, which I had to go through, of like, how am I going to put exercise into my life, because I did drink every day of the week.
yeah,
When I was in bars, I was managing bars from like 20 to 23. I think when I was 22 I was a bar manager, and then
yeah.
18 to 23 I was working in pubs and bars. I was drinking all the time,
It
partying
becomes
all the
so
time.
normal, right? Like when you're
Yeah,
working, it becomes so normalized.
it's
Like,
just, you need to know that it's not like, your body is
mhm.
not built for it. I mean, like, yeah, old rock stars, they've, been able to keep it up with drinking or whatever, but it's like they have the money and the healthcare to look after
Yes,
them. When they do that, they can
of
go for a
course.
massage to sort their
Oh,
muscles out. They get fed healthy if they decide to.
yeah,
Yeah, they get fed like healthy food, or like, they can still be
yeah,
looked after. But when
yeah,
you're independent, or when you're on small budgets, you're the one that needs to look after yourself, and that's really hard, you know. So
of
it's like,
course.
be like balanced. Choose when you want to have your big night drinking, or if you're gonna drink, have a couple. Maybe don't have like five,
Overdo it.
because you're
Yeah,
just gonna wake up destroyed. But it's honestly, it's different for everyone. But if you're feeling unhappy and you're feeling like your body is killing you, um, and it's making you not enjoy touring or music, then like, you can change something somewhere. Not that it's easy, but you can, and hopefully it'll make it a nicer
a little,
experience.
yeah.
Yeah,
For me, I mean, I think I used to drink a lot more when I was in my early 20s as well.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't know if this is like an age thing or if it's just that I've become more in tune with my body as I've gotten older.
yeah.
But the sort of after effects the next day of that anxiety that I
Oh my God.
get after a big night of
I used
drinking
to get
is
it so much.
just, oh no, it's not possible. Like when I'm touring,
Mhm.
it's just, it
And then on
messes up.
top of the things you need to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I try
And then obviously, yeah,
to refrain. I mean,
yeah,
sometimes it's hard, sometimes you actually I just want like a pint or two to
yeah, why
decompress, but
not?
it's definitely not helpful in my situation. I think in
Yeah.
no one's really, like you were saying. I don't think it's,
Not if it's just constant, but it's in anything, like anything in life. If you exercise too much, that's not good for you either.
yeah,
You know,
everything
you
in
need
moderation.
everything in moderation. And I think it is achievable, but it's making the change. That's what's hardest, I think.
Hmm. Hmm.
Choosing yourself and your well-being is the hardest.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
once
like
you
I,
do that, I think once you've like clocked in with that, it makes it even harder to now like go off the bender. I don't know. It's like
yeah,
once I think once you've realized it and you've sort of seen the difference in yourself, when you're like choosing yourself and choosing your health and stuff. It makes it harder to sort of go the other way. I don't know. I don't know if that's,
No, I agree. No, I
you
agree.
know.
And I think in society, like, or in the music industry as well, like there's just like a weird thing about having to drink and smoke and all this stuff. Like back in the day, it was a lot like more like that. But I think
Mhm.
nowadays, like all like major pop stars and like rock bands, whatever, who are actually touring full time and living this life, I don't think they're going to be getting on every night. Trust me.
I don't think
There's no
so. A lot of
way.
people I
There
follow
is
are
no
sober.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
There is no
choosing
way.
like
And
a,
I think like as we grow up as well, like we all have our insecurities, right? And I think I don't know why, like as a teenager, like looking after yourself, you're like, oh, it's like not cool or whatever. But I think we all have different lives, different traumas, all these things. And
Mhm.
like you feel weird about looking after yourself. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is. I think it's always been like that. Like back in the day, the gym used to be uncool, you know? Um,
Yes.
like especially when it first started to become a thing. Be like, oh, you go to the gym, like you must think highly of yourself. And
Mhm.
it's
It's
like,
like
well, no.
the bare minimum you can do for your body and mental
Yeah,
health.
and like it's good to be nice to yourself. I think like I still struggle, you know, like it's so weird, like how we treat others like amazing, but
Mhm.
not ourselves. Why is
Mhm.
that? I mean, I know this is not a therapy talk, but I think it all feeds into each other, you know, and
Yeah.
yeah, and obviously in the music industry, like especially with labels and things like that, you're trying to keep everyone happy, keeping them happy. But yeah, you have to think about what's healthy for you.
I think that hmm, now we're going into a therapy session. I think when we were younger, there was this perception that it's selfish, maybe, to put yourself and your own needs first.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what the problem is.
yeah,
Like even now, like there's a part of me that feels sort of selfish for doing that.
yeah. I have that.
Could
But it's
could
just
be
like
that.
it doesn't
Don't
mean you
know.
care less about people or like not behave
No,
the same
not at
for other people.
all.
If
Not at
anything, you can be
all.
a better version. Like you're a better version of yourself when you look after yourself.
Yeah,
You know,
when you
you can
show up
be
for
more to
yourself.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
100%. What is like your biggest sort of insecurity when it comes to your art? Like,
Mm,
do you struggle whilst you're creating, like while you're busy making an album? Is it something that comes after you've completed it?
I think I've over the years I've gone through a lot of like, you know, is my music not good enough? Am I not
Mm.
good enough? Especially as a teenager and like my early 20s. Like I said, like trying to be like other bands and
Mhm.
copying everyone else rather than listening to my own voice or what I maybe wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think through that, like I have actually learned, you know, I need to make music that I enjoy
Mhm.
because otherwise I'm not gonna have fun on stage or connect with anyone because I'm gonna be like, well, I don't really like it, but I made it for you.
Yeah.
So like that's not going to work. And I think through having done so many successful shows over the years with the music that I produced either by myself or co-produced and written all these songs, it's like it has given me more confidence of like, no, people are into it.
Yeah.
And just because like I'm not like a huge famous whatever musician traveling the world with it yet, that doesn't mean that I'm not good in what I do.
Mhm.
So I think in that element, my insecurities, I mean, you're always worried, right? You're always worried, like, oh, is it going to connect? Are people going to like it?
Mhm.
But I've done so much work and I'm obviously still doing so much work on myself that it's like, but that's okay if they don't. Like, so long as you feel authentic and truthful with what you're saying,
Yeah.
it's okay. Like, you did
Yeah.
what you thought was right. Where I have insecurities is probably more so like what I'm writing about like in the songs.
Okay.
Like,
Like how
you
it
know,
would be perceived or
well, I mean, we don't want to worry about what people think of us,
hmm
right? That's something we all struggle with. But I think, yeah, that does play an element of it because I'm like, oh God, like they're going to hear these lyrics and then know that I'm this or I'm that or thing,
hmm
you know, you can get insecure from that or days where I'm more like, oh God, like, oh, have I just told everyone
it's too
about
much.
who I am too much, too
Yeah.
close to. But again, then I have other days and I'm like, yeah, well, at least I'm honest, like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. I think I'm lucky that I do feel really confident in what I'm doing.
hmm
And I've worked really, really hard to be where I'm at with it, even if I'm again like I still live in a
You
house
have your
share and
days.
you
Yeah, yeah.
know, and we're not, selling out huge venues and stuff, but we just did a headline tour, all of my like I planned the whole thing on my own
Which
and
is
people came
huge. Yeah.
and people bought tickets and they loved it. So
hmm
yeah, luckily I feel more, I think, confident in what I'm doing at the moment. It's more, yeah, it's always there is always an insecurity of like, am I going to be as good as what I did before?
Okay.
Like having put these songs out, are people going to like it as much? Are they going to not? Like we evolve as artists, right? And
Yes.
I always want to keep it like guitar music and stuff, but it does dive into different yeah, taps into different genres, sometimes a little bit more electronic or sometimes a
hmm
little bit more pop or whatever. And it's like, I do worry, like, oh, am I going to lose certain fans because of that? But then I just
Yeah.
have to remind myself that's okay because you're just growing. And if that's how you're feeling and that's where you wanted to go, that's real. And it might not be,
100%.
yeah, it might not be for everyone,
100%.
but then I'm not, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I hope that sort of
So,
answered it.
no, you answered it perfectly. Like talking, you mentioned like going slightly different routes, like experimenting,
Mhm.
pushing yourself. I've never, because there's like a few artists that I've listened to that over the years have tried something slightly different on an album that was, like experimented a bit. I've
Yeah,
never left listening to that and gone like, especially if I really admire the
yeah,
artist, I've never left and gone and said to myself, like, oh, this is like bad. Why did they do this like that? Like, even if I didn't 100% enjoy it, I might
yeah,
listen to it and go, okay, that sounds like a little bit different. But
mm,
I applaud them for actually
yeah.
like the applaud for them actually pushing and trying something new is way bigger than okay, that's a miss. The previous stuff was better. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Am I making sense?
you are making sense. Like you can still respect, like a music
Yeah,
taste. Like,
like the
you can
respect is way bigger
yeah,
for that
yeah,
person. I actually end up enjoying their art even more because I can sort of see, okay, like you put yourself out there, you tried something new. It's not just like this repetitive thing. You pushed yourself.
yeah,
You were
yeah,
searching for something.
yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. I guess, I mean, I have experienced on my side, bands or artists where I've gone, oh, that didn't land. Like
Yeah,
that didn't land. And then
yeah,
like I haven't bought tickets since because I know they're going to tour the album that didn't land for me. You know,
yeah,
So that's, I guess, what I worry about a little bit. But then that doesn't mean I don't respect them. And it doesn't
yeah,
mean I don't stop listening to the tracks that I do love.
right.
Um, and I, yeah, totally rate like trying to take something somewhere else. Like that's literally like
hmm
what it's all about. You want to keep growing. So yeah, I think it's inevitable that people fall in and out of music. It also depends like the type of music because it depends where they're at in their lives as well. Like
Yeah.
something can be the soundtrack of that summer you had, or something can be the soundtrack of that time you were going through this breakup, or so I
hmm
guess it's always shifting. And
hmm
something I have also recently had a moment where there was an album that came out of a band that I used to really, really love as a teenager, and I went, oh no, like not vibing with this at all. And then now a few months later, I've heard a couple of other songs of the album and I've gone, oh, I'm actually really into this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like it's just
your perception
taking a bit more
changes.
time to grow. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also I think it's that, like, for me it's just sort of maybe listening to it because we have this like pre-programmed preconception
Yeah.
of what our brain tells us it's like supposed
Yeah.
to listen to. Um, and also just where you at in your life, maybe like
Mm-hmm.
circumstances change and things,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
find it more relevant, or
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
interesting. Like art's interesting in that way. It's the same thing with like movies and cinema,
Yeah,
you know. You
yeah.
rewatch something and you're like, actually, this really slaps. But 10 years ago, I
Yeah.
thought it was awful.
Yeah, yeah. Or
So,
also like you're not gonna watch Halloween films like over Christmas, you
hmm
know.
hmm
Unless you're really into Halloween and you watch it every day. But do you know what I mean? It's like a maybe there's a moment and a time for certain records.
yeah.
Um,
You mentioned you work in film as well, right?
yeah, been doing it for 3 years and sort of, building my way up and getting more experience and sort of realized, I mean, as a kid, I wanted to do acting as well.
hmm
Didn't get accepted into the school play, and then was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm going to do music. And then now, yeah, about 3, 4 years ago, I always loved films anyway, since, but I sort of rekindled like, yeah, the love for it and slowly was building my confidence into like, no, like you should just push yourself. And then, yeah, I worked on some really cool productions. It was very small roles, but still, it's like you're part of a huge production. Like I did Wicked,
hmm
and like I had a lot of days on that with two different roles, and yeah, like I loved it. It was like the most
Yeah.
incredible. So yeah, I'm trying to get more into that. And also, obviously, if you land a big, or actually, acting just pays really well.
hmm
So when you're landing like bigger roles, you then can use the money to make music. It's
Of
like, well,
course.
that's what
It's
I've been
a
doing the last few.
win-win.
Yeah. So I've just been using like that sort of money, and then I work in another couple of jobs. I work in a studio as well, and
hmm
that's the only way I've really been able to even make music the last 4 years is because of my studio job, like
hmm
where I engineer and stuff. So yeah, it's hard, but like I don't know, it's still in the arts. It's both very like artistic. Maybe
Yeah.
engineering is a bit more technical, but you're still part of building something in music.
Yeah.
So it feels creative. It's like
Yeah.
problem solving. Engineering is like
hmm
problem solving, and it's
hmm
really fun. Um, yeah, and it all feeds into each other. I feel like since I've been doing acting in the last 4 years, that's boosted my confidence on stage as well.
I was
Like
gonna say,
massively.
I could see how that could, like, the two can really help with stage presence. And even I think, like, if you were performing for a lot of years, that even might help, I would assume, acting, or like
Yeah,
just like your
100%.
spatial awareness or
Yeah, and
understanding,
people
like,
skills.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I
it's a
didn't even
lot,
think of that.
acting is a lot about life experience and where you tap into to find the emotions, right?
Like a similar emotion, I would assume, right?
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah,
similar, yeah,
release. Yeah, like
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. And it helps with the music videos, of course. Like
I
being in
was,
front of a camera.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, for the beauty music video where
yeah,
you're doing all the dancing, like, never mind having to remember the choreography to that, just being aware of where like the camera is and your angles is
yeah.
like a whole nother skill
Oh my
that
God,
I do
yeah.
not
And it was
have.
just, yeah. That was a small room as well. And Joss, the director, he was filming this as well. So it was a lot, but yeah, it's good. Yeah, you learn so much like
Mhm.
in film as well about how music videos obviously are made and like the prep, like a lot of uh, like the ways that we do our music videos. I learned a lot from a friend of mine who's a producer now for quite a lot of big artists, but she did my first two videos, and then I learned a lot from her and was like, oh, like I can like do this, and then it will help budget wise if I do
Yeah,
it myself. Like, yeah, again, it's taken on more work, but like I've learned so much about what happens in crew and like behind the scenes to actually
yeah,
make the
the
production
ins and
happen.
outs. Do you have a favorite genre of music, of movies, or not really?
Favorite genre of movies? don't know. Like I do like action films and like romantic
Really?
films.
Okay.
Yeah, I do really like action. But I really love old school
Hmm.
movies, like anything with Tom Hanks in it. I love
Okay.
Because in Seattle, things like that, like sort of feel good films. I think I recently watched the film As Good as It Gets. Something about old school films. Maybe it's because I was born in the 90s, but I don't know, I just love them. But even before that, like Rocky was on the other day, like Rocky 2, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm here for it. Like
Yeah.
I love it. Like it's so good, like Die Hard, all those kinds of films. Like I really
Terminator?
love them. Terminator, I'm not that into. And
No?
my dad, I haven't given it enough of a chance. My dad's not happy about it. But yeah, like Titanic, um, oh Grease,
Oh,
like
yes.
stuff
Oh,
like that.
Grease
I'm just
is
like gets
a
me.
classic. Yeah,
So good. But then more recent, I guess, like The Notebook and stuff. Like I love romantic films.
me too.
Um,
I
yeah,
love like a romantic, but like also like a drama.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm a sucker for is it like maybe real life dialogue? Like for example, did you watch like Lady Bird? You seen Lady
Lady
Bird?
Lady
Lady
Bird.
Bird. Uh,
No, I haven't.
or another example is Silver Linings Playbook. It's like Marriage Story, I think is the other one. There's something very realistic about the
Marriage Story.
dialogues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's in that again? Because I think
Scarlett
yeah,
Johansson.
I
There's
love
something
her.
very real about the dialogue between the two
Yeah,
characters. And it's like, I think the common theme between these movies is that they're quite emotionally dark. For some
yeah.
reason, I'm like really drawn to that. I don't know why.
Something darker. You just want to feel, and that's the same in
Hmm.
music. You want to watch something that makes you feel something. And that's the same with music. Like they asked me, I was doing some classes recently and they were like, oh, why do you want to act? Or yeah, it was like, yeah, why, what'd they say? What's the point was the question. Just
Okay.
so like, tell me your name and tell us what's the point. Just like that. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
to make people feel something and to feel something. So if you're watching darker films and that connects you because it makes you feel a certain way, then that's
Yeah.
perfect.
And I think it's also because it's easier for me to let out my emotions. It's
Yeah,
almost like we harvest emotions. And when I'm watching something like that, I'm able to cry or whatever, but it
yeah,
doesn't feel so personal. It's like an outlet, you know. I'm crying because the movie's sad, not because I'm sad, if that
yeah,
makes
yeah, exactly.
sense.
Or because you're watching something like so beautiful or so sad or
Hmm. Hmm.
like, and that means they've done an incredible job because it's making you feel something.
Frances Ha. I think it's like one of my top five favorite movies.
I loved it so much.
Hmm.
Like at first I was a bit like, oh, because as I've said, I like some more cheesy stuff,
Yeah,
easy to sort of fall into. With this one, I didn't know what to expect, and it took me a minute to like get into the film. And then,
same,
but once I was in it, I was like, no, I'm so here for it.
same.
Like I totally get it.
I remember watching it. I watched it the first time with like a bunch of other people, and I didn't really connect to it. And then I watched it alone, I think like on a flight somewhere, and I had a
Yeah.
totally different experience. And it's like
Yeah.
one of those movies, the more I watch it, the more it sort of like grows on me.
Yeah. And you know how we
Um,
talked about art where like you need to figure out why you make art first,
mhm,
if because otherwise you're just going to be really upset or confused and
mhm.
not get what you need out of it. With that movie, like towards the end, and it sort of comes full circle, and she's got her own little place and she's paying her own bills and these things. And she's become a choreographer, not like a dancer in some huge show and stuff.
Yeah,
That it just made me, and she put her own choreography together, right? And she was initially she was
yes,
like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, it's not for me. And then it just came full circle for me where she's happy like in her own little place.
yeah.
In
Like
art, it
she's
might not,
won.
yeah,
She
Yeah, like
it's
that's it.
she succeeded like in
Yeah,
her
because you're
own
making
terms.
art. Like you're making art and you're living,
Hmm.
and like that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah,
And yeah, if
yeah.
the fame and the money comes with it, that would be absolutely amazing. But like, would it? I don't know. I'm sure there's so many people who are in the spotlight who might not feel fulfilled at all because they
I
didn't
think
get
so.
a
I
lot of
think
the
so.
journey that comes with
Yeah,
um or life even. They just got thrown into this machine and then
yeah,
they've lost a lot of the other parts of life,
yeah.
you know. So
I
I don't
think
know. There was
so.
just, yeah, something about that film. It just put all the dots together for me and it made me feel really good about where I am in my life.
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
like, we all feel like we're falling behind or like so and so are having babies and getting married and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
I feel like
And
that
every,
too. It's hard. I think it's hard, especially I think for us girls. I mean, it's always been a bit harder for us, but
yeah.
um, it is. I feel like that a lot too. Like, am I on the right path? Am I
Mm.
supposed to be having children? What am I supposed to be doing? But I
But
think
it's
it's
just
not a
different.
race.
It's
Everyone's
not a
like, yeah, I think to put simply, it's not a race.
it's not a race, and we forget about people's backgrounds, right? And how they got
Mm.
into the arts. If mum and
Hmm.
dad are like huge actors, obviously
Hmm.
you're gonna get a massive part, you know, in a film.
Of
Or
course.
yeah, or if your uncle is like Brian Eno or whatever, you're gonna have a great studio to grow up in and learn how to do
Hmm.
production and music and
Hmm.
write and different doors open to you in that. And that's not to say that those artists or actors or whatever, creatives, that they're not talented. Obviously they are. Like clearly they're doing really well.
Yeah,
But the way it accelerates that
of
success
course. Of
is
course.
entirely different.
Of
Like I could
course.
have my album done like by the end of January if I
Yeah.
had funding. Do you know what I mean? And
Are
probably
you
write
working
another
on a
one
new
by
album?
February. And I'm working on a new album.
Oh,
But it won't be done in January.
no.
But it's written, which is cool. And I'm
It's
going through the
cool.
process of like, oh no, maybe I should have that one on there instead. Or like, oh, maybe that doesn't fit on there. But I'm working on it. I told the people that came to all the shows, it's something that I'm working on. And because I can't like releasing just singles, like single after single, I can't afford it. I couldn't afford it when I started doing it.
Yeah.
And I can't afford it now. Like you said, PR comes into it, all these things. It's
Yeah.
just not affordable. Like, and to live
Yeah.
life in the sense that you need to pay rent and pay your bills. Like, I can't keep working myself into the ground. Like, there's going to be nothing left of me if I continue this way
Hmm.
mentally. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just dead and physically too, you know. So, like, after this tour that we just did, it was like amazing way to see like how it was going to do financially because now I know if I do it that way, we can go on tour again.
Yeah. It's a great
Which is
learning
all,
experience, and it just sort of
yeah,
gives you a platform for the next thing, some
yeah, and
solid
like
guidance.
yeah, it's awesome. Like because I did have I've got a new manager, which is amazing. We've been working together
Hmm.
since summer. He did a lot of the spreadsheets, or like he combined all my spreadsheets,
Hmm.
and it really helped us get like a good oversight of things. And it's like, okay, this is what it looks like financially. We did that like just by touring that we did recently in summer when people were probably on holiday, and it's about choosing the right times to go.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like, "But we pretty much broke even on it, and that's
That's
mental. Like you don't
excellent.
hear of that,
Yeah.
yeah." And yeah, it was with a lot of favors, and one of the venues was super kind to us and didn't charge us because they were so
Hmm.
impressed by the show, and their friends came and loved it. And they were like, "Oh, we can afford to not charge you. We know you're doing it
Oh,
all on
that's
your own."
beautiful.
So it was
Yeah.
kindnesses of people as well, like discounts
Yeah.
from friends and all these things. But it was like something to put into a system and go, okay, that's what it looks like. So now I
Hmm.
know we can do it again, how to change things, but it's like it will happen again. And so it's just about how to now focus the time, money, in a way that I'm not going to be completely zombified by the end of things. And in like, I'm
Hmm.
still, I need to pay off my debts from the last few
Yeah.
years. I can't just
Yeah.
keep going this way. but it means it gives me the time to breathe with the music as well and not rush something out there that
Yeah,
I don't want to look back on it and go, oh God, I really
you
hope
should
I
have
really
done
want
this
that song on
differently.
there. Yeah, you don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping if the stars align that in January and February I get to track more, so more drums, especially, and then that gives us like a solid body of
Yes.
the album because all the other
Yeah.
things I've recorded parts and recorded guitars and things. So it would be like at least if we have that, then I can start looking at other ways of building visuals. Like what's it going to be like? What's this,
Yeah.
all of that stuff is going to come into it.
Mm-hmm. The second job to it. But
Yeah,
I must say, like, as stressful as that part is, like the visuals and the aesthetic and stuff, I really enjoy it.
oh, it is
Like,
fun. Yeah.
I really love it. The previous band I managed last year, I helped quite a lot with like the music videos and just like the overall aesthetic of the band and the live performances and stuff. And I think I really enjoy that aspect. But also when you have time, like we did
Yeah.
it, we really spaced it out. So we weren't putting ourselves under pressure,
Yeah,
And then it's
exactly
like
it.
fun. You can, like you're saying, you can like take your time and it's a positive experience as opposed to like
Yeah.
having to rush, rush, rush.
No, you're
Um,
totally right. And like the rush that comes from, being told that you need to release every 6 weeks and stuff like that for the algorithm to pick up or for
mhm,
the BBC to remember you and all this kind of
mhm.
stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay, I get that, but like, do you want to pay for it? Like, it's not gonna happen. Like,
Of
I don't have the
course,
money.
of
So I just
course.
have to be realistic. And in that way, if I'm realistic and accept the way things are, then I can enjoy, like you say, the process of it and have been enjoying it more. I now have time, over Christmas to sit with the tracks and like perfect and finesse like the production of it a bit more and
Yeah,
yeah, like it's fun. Like I can enjoy doing that without feeling like there's a pressure timeline.
pressure,
And
of
and
course.
obviously there's a goal. Like I want to have it out in 2026, hopefully by the end of the year. But like I'm not setting that in stone until I have the record like
The
actually
physical, yeah,
yeah,
everything
physical, like it's like, okay, it's mixed, it's mastered, here we
mixed
go.
mastered. Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit and stress myself out with what the videos are going to be like or the styling yet, because I want to hand at least an audible version of the album to my friends who are going to hopefully be styling it and stuff with
Hmm.
me, or the director I'm going to be working with or whatever. Like I want them to be able to hear something and go,
Envision
ah,
it properly. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, how does it
yeah,
make you feel? Colors, like
yeah.
So yeah, I think I just need to focus on the music for now,
Mhm. That's so
like in a
exciting
calm
though.
way. Yeah, it's
It's
really
nice
exciting.
going like, even though you don't have a timeline, it's nice knowing that you're starting the new year with this sort of exciting project.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always
And
great starting the year like that.
it'll just take time the way it's supposed to, not the way I'm
Hmm.
forced to.
Naturally,
Yeah,
naturally run its course.
yeah.
Any upcoming shows beginning of the year or
Not at the
no?
moment. Not at the
Yeah,
moment,
just
unfortunately.
focusing on
Yeah.
writing and producing.
Unless we get like some cool festival slots come through or something, yeah, something come through that's financially like doable,
Mhm.
then yeah. But at the moment, like I said, like I don't get paid from any shows all these years. I've never taken money home.
Yeah,
So I'm in a position now where I just have to be really selective, like having the album like in the background. I can't then be spending lots of money on shows because I need
yeah,
that money to make the album.
yeah.
So at the moment, we're just focusing on the music.
Putting it
And I
together.
think when that's ready, then there'll be loads and loads and loads of shows to showcase that.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. I hope I can come to some shows, like
Mhm.
especially if it's towards the
You
end
on
of
the
next year. Oh yes, please. I'd love to see
list?
you live. But it will
Yeah.
happen. I know it will.
Yeah, it will. And I'm
Um,
sure something will pop up before then,
mhm.
like live music wise. Yeah.
Mm, exciting stuff. Well, thank you so much for having this chat. I've really enjoyed getting
Thank
to
you for having
know
me.
like more of you personally and your perspective on everything. Thank you so
Thank you for
much
taking
for
the time.
trusting me to come on my little series.
Yeah, it's been really lovely to chat with you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and lovely to meet you as well, and hear your story too.
Mhm.
It's really insightful.
Between tracks.